Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you a 4 versus 4 on Cheux, and in this one I'm going to be playing with the first Pancerna, which is basically because I did the updated battle group overview previously. So I am playing with a 3rd armoured and a 4th armoured on my team. I also have the 2nd armoured French division, so it's a fully armoured game. And the same goes for the other side, where we have 2 Panzer Lehr divisions, a 21st Panzer, and the 17th SS Panzer Grenadiers, which is a decent infantry division to maybe push this town. So yeah, we were basically discussing at the start with my team where exactly we wanted to go. It was quite interesting actually to have some nice communication with my team. We were talking about what side of the town I should probably push, because Last Light kept pinging that he was going into the town and on the right side of the town, and I was like, well, do you want me to go on the left side of the town or do you want me to go on the right side of the town? Because generally somebody, you know, defends like this area, like takes the town on the left side, somebody takes like this area, which is like the dotted houses, then somebody takes up this hit area, and then somebody takes up this area. So that's like your 4 slots. So in this case, what ended up happening was here Robert basically decided to take the right side, and I pinged somebody to go here, which ended up being X Factor, and then Last Light took the town on the right side, then I just took the far left. So I was pretty concentrated on this far left side with my 1st Pancerna division, and I was quite confident at the beginning of the game. Now it's not often I play this map. Cheux is generally pretty hard. I don't enjoy it at all. This game, or this map, just catches me out in so many different ways. There's just been so many bad games. It's a nice flat map, which is fantastic for like open like tank engagements, but my god, when people like sneak out from behind the tree lines and just like one-shot your tanks, it can get very, very frustrating. Fortunately, not so much in this game. So I've got 3 units of recon at the start. The greatest thing about the 1st Pancerna is they're just cheap infantry. This is like 3 Zuiadalsi for like 75 points. And they just perfectly complement the combination of tanks that I had going on here. So I had the Cromwell 6, the Cromwell 5, and the Stuart 5. This is the Command Stuarts alongside those 2 Cromwells. So the command is distributed a little bit differently with the first Pancerna compared to something like the Guards Armoured, but it's still relatively the same. So in my previous Guards Armoured division, you'll see the gameplay be very, very similar. But the idea is just to have my recon up in front, which allows me to spot stuff for my fire support to attack, whilst allowing them to attack things like my rifles. So you can see me start to bring in the rifles here, and I have my command infantry, and I actually have both of these Vickers HMGs. Now the Vickers HMGs, I chose them on this particular map because I felt like this tree line that is on the other side of these buildings is like the perfect range for a Vickers HMG, as you can see. So 600 meter range is a Vickers HMG range. If you have a Vickers in this building and this building, you've got a hell of a lot of fire that you can put down onto like all of these tree lines. So if they were going to contest me on that left side, I would be in a very good spot if I used my Vickers HMGs. Now for some reason the unloaded position command went a bit weird. I thought it would be faster to move up this left road and just go up here, but apparently it was faster to go up the right road and go across. So I let my vehicles do what they wanted, and we basically all start moving towards the town. So myself and Last Light are very concentrated on the left side. I was a bit worried about what X Factor was doing in the middle, since he kind of bunched up his units here and bunched up his units here and had orders to drop them quite far back from the 50-50, which is about here. So yeah, I was a bit worried about that, and I gave him the like attack order and said you should probably move up and blah blah. So that helped him out a little bit and stopped us losing so much ground. But we're still gaining ground, thankfully, because for some reason this left side was left completely uncontested, and we have managed to get all the way into the town. Now, I'm not sure quite what happened. I feel like the Pancerna divisions decided just not to contest the town early on, or maybe just didn't have the unit speed to get to the town before we did. But here you can see they are using them off-road, so maybe they just sort of fast moved them short and then didn't realise that they could actually fast move all the way to the town and contest it. But either way, we have a really strong foothold on this left side. Maybe not so much in the middle with X-Factor not moving his troops about so quick, but that's fine. I'm just going to bring up some rifles to secure the centre. And on the right side there's an engagement between Herr Robert and his Pancerna counterpart. There is an ME-109 hovering around on the left side, but it's not really doing too much at the moment. Just trying to see how much ground I can really take on this left side. So you can see I've moved the Vickers all the way up. Coming in with the strafing run onto the Lloyd carrier, so just going to unload them quick so that he loses his target, and that allows them to get into the building in time. So this is like the perfect start for me, because it's allowing me to get my GcgZxhnZGdUZxC into position without too much like contesting going on. Which means they're basically free to run through like all of the hedgerows and stuff that I want. So I've got this one lined up to run through this hedgerow. I've got this one lined up to sort of go up here. And then I've got this one lined up to go up the left side. And then with all the information that those recon squads provide, I can put a lot of pressure on with the Cromwells. So that's basically what I'm looking to do at the moment. A bit worried about obviously AT guns. So that's the main thing I'm looking out for. So bingo, first one spotted on the left side. WR75 just gets wrecked from the get-go, and that's why you don't really bring those in anymore. They were fun for a little while. They had their little price reduction, and I had a mess around with them, but if you're going to move them across the open like that in front of basically the front line, then you're in for a hard time. Ideally, like a BMW, for example, would be ideal, say if I was like the Axis player, to go through this salient, because I moved this rifle squad up here and I was like, oh, there's actually nothing contesting us in the middle of the map. So I just continued to like move the Bedford truck further up. Now a GcgZxhnZGdUZxC was destroyed there, assuming that was like a unit that wasn't unloaded yet. There's another one here as well. If we go to the neutral perspective, yeah, I think those were just recon squads that my opponent hadn't unloaded. And she starts to bring up the AT gun here, and my Cromwell's actually going to get a line of sight onto that and kill it off. I did zoom in on that and find out that it was an AT gun, so I made my Cromwell sort of target that on purpose. So took out his AT gun there. That's like one AT gun accounted for. I've got the second one on the left side that I still need to kill. But here you saw the 6-pounder take out the Puma, so we got rid of that. And yeah, we do end up playing against two players on this left side. It's just a matter of who can take advantage of this better. And so far, I've taken out his speed troop, I've taken out his BMWs, and I've taken out a Pak 38, so doing pretty well. There goes another GcgZxhnZGdUZxC as he failed to unload his recon. So just taking full advantage, and over on this right side, well, my rifles are also taking full advantage. Driving all the way through that front line. Originally I brought in 4 rifle squads to just secure the centre of the map with where all of these buildings are. But since it wasn't contested properly, I mean, just look at this Bedford truck go. He's having the time of his life. Zooming through the tree lines and the countryside is what I meant to say. Zooming through that countryside. So the Stuart 5 here, that's going to get hit by a Pak 38. So I'm just going to move it to the other side of the tree line so he's out of line of sight. We take out the Pak 38 on the left side thanks to my recon. And yeah, now it's just a matter of taking advantage of them not having many AT guns left. So Cromwell 6 is on its way. The Pancerna divisions generally have only 3 Pak 38s in Phase A. But I am playing, of course, against the 17th SS Panzergrenadier. Now here I was quite lucky because the Cromwell bounced a shot from the Pak 38, and the Pak 38 actually missed the second shot, which allowed me to pin down the Pak 38 in 2 shots. So I don't know if I was lucky there. I think I just generally was fine to push for that engagement because Pak 38 had no veterancy, and I was very much aware of that. But BMW going down there thanks to the 6-pounder. And I need to make sure that I finish off the Pak 38, so I'm going to try and target that ASAP. Fortunately, the Cromwell 6 on the left side saves my ass. It's a very easy mistake to make that. When you pin down an AT gun, and your units automatically change target, because I was probably like focused over here on pushing forwards these rifles, your units target something else. You have to manually target the things that are already pinned down. Now my 6-pounder here does get damaged quite severely by the Panzergrenadiers, so I'm going to fall that back pretty much immediately. I have my Crusader AA Mark IIB coming in, and that's to provide some fire support here, but also some anti-air on the left side. And currently, Stosstroop are trying to be used. Ideally what I would have seen is some smoke, but it doesn't really matter because I would have just fire positioned them instead with the Cromwell 6s. I guess the main thing here is that I can quite happily sacrifice my rifles and push them across in the open, whilst they can't, because they've got to do it with Panzergrenadiers and they've got to do it with Stosstroop, and they have a limited amount of Stosstroop, and Panzergrenadiers cost too much to sacrifice them like that. So yeah, I've got a definitive advantage here at the moment. Cromwell 6s supported by the rifles. I've taken out all of the 3 AT guns. There's a very big chance that he doesn't have another one, so I'm able to just move forwards, all my recon, the infantry, spot the enemy units, demolish them. MG42 went down, Flak-Villing went down, another MG42 went down, etc, etc. You're starting to get the idea. With those AT guns destroyed, and me finding those, really allows me to just put the pressure on so damn quickly. And that is the most fantastic thing about the Guards Armoured and the 1st Pancerna. You get those AT gun kills with your Cromwells, and you can just go ham. The infantry divisions really struggle. But my opponent decides to bring in the Stug 3. And this would have been a nice choice early on, honestly. Stug 3 is actually competent enough to get in range of a Cromwell 6, especially with, say, fast move. Like if you fast move this Stug 3 down a road towards like a Cromwell, it will get into range and just shoot it and kill it because it's got 2-star veterancy. So there is that to worry about. So I've kind of just taken cover here with my Cromwell 6. I probably could have stayed in line of sight of the speed troop and helped out. But what ends up happening is my Cromwell 6 from the right side pins it down, causes the speed troops to surrender. I do lose my Zwier Dalsey, but we've now moved into phase B. And if you're wondering where all the enemy points were, well, you'll see why very shortly. Pak 38 does come in here on the left side. That gets taken out. Well, that actually takes out one of my Cromwells. But I do still have the Cromwell 6 on the case. And on the left side, my 6-pounder takes out the Stug 3. So that was nice. Meanwhile, over on this far right side, rifles are dealing with a sort of insurgency situation, just sort of behind enemy lines. Same with these rifles. These rifles were moved up as well to try and drop off here. But yeah, I'm just putting pressure on with rifle squads. These are 15-point squads, and they're somehow managing to create a lot of pressure in this game. There's literally nothing else in the middle of this map. And the enemy guy put a help marker here as if it was like something that was really bad. It's like the mind games. It's just the pure mind games of both Wargame and Steel Division. Like, they think there's a lot happening here, and there's like attacks here, and there's like a lot of stuff to worry about. But there's not, it's just 4 squads of rifles. But what do we see on this left side anyway? King Tiger. Yeah, that's right. They saved for a King Tiger in Phase B. So they obviously had at least like 200 points saved from Phase A. And then when they come into Phase B, well, here it comes. And I'm not prepared for this. Quite simply, my Cromwell is very much in range. My Crusader AA Mark IIB is very much in range. And, well, a King Tiger is going to very easily one-shot my Cromwells. So you can see the evacuation occurs as all of my tanks just start driving in the opposite direction. Now, I do have the 6-pounder here, but that's not going to be very good at taking out a Königsdagger. And the Königsdagger does have 9 side armor, so I could possibly try and go for a side shot. But, yeah. Here we just have the Königsdagger having fun, trying to take out my 6-pounder there. I believe he was trying to, like, fire position it, which is a pretty decent idea. And realizing he was doing that, I just kind of decided to move it back away from the sort of direction he would expect me to put it. Strelzy go down there. Just gonna leave that pinned. I mean, as long as he's firing at it and he doesn't directly hit it, it's gonna stay alive. Now my Mark IIB unfortunately has its tracks broken and waits for its fate as the Königsdagger misses a shot. Can you imagine being this tank? You'd just bail and run, wouldn't you? But nah, they're gonna sit strong on that anti-air piece until a fuel explosion sends them sky high. I've got a little push going on here with Last Light in the center. Got my MG carriers that have brought in some more recon supporting the voltages that at Last Light's moving up. Got my command infantry there as well. And now on this side, well, I'm actually bringing up some Dragoni with the M5 half tracks. And this was quite simply to try and push through the middle of the map. So I'm playing on basically half the map right now. But it was very fun. And what I was waiting for was for this 6-pounder to find a side shot onto this Königsdagger. Fortunately, for Extremist, he wasn't silly enough to move forwards and let that happen. Obviously was lacking recon on this side. Had invested a lot of points into the Königsdagger, so they were definitely lacking a severe amount of infantry, which is why an infantry push like this with Last Light is working so well. Now over here what happens is the 6-pounder that I roll up to the middle of the map actually pins down the 251-1, and therefore what I decide to do is just fast move my half track towards it, make it surrender. While that's happening, of course the Panzer Grenadiers are surrendered, or can surrender as well. No command nearby, so I'm just going to drive towards them and hopefully make that happen. Meanwhile, what's happening is my Cromwell 7 and the Stuart 5 are both coming over from the left side. So obviously since the Königsdagger's come in, I evacuated the left side with basically everything I had. There's literally nothing here now other than recon. I've got a command infantry squad hiding in this tree line, so I can maybe use the Piat, and that's pretty much it. So I evacuated that, made this investment in points completely useless, came over to the right side, decided to push through where I thought it was weak instead, and yeah, it's working quite nicely. Because he can't like easily move all of these points from this left side over to the right side, whereas I preemptively, as soon as I saw that Königsdagger come in, I just reinforced this side. Why would I bother reinforcing the left side and just throw stuff at the Königsdagger? It's completely pointless. I would completely concede the left side of the map in order to make the same ground on the right side instead. So, yeah. We found ourselves a half track. I'm going to destroy it. Got my other half tracks rolling through. Time to go and save the rifles behind enemy lines. +3 currently, only 2,500 score to reach this time round. Phase C is in 3 minutes and 40 seconds, but there's only 3 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. So I'm just looking to make as much ground as quickly as possible, maybe end the game. Now at the moment, Extremist here, I believe what he was trying to do was like run away from this push from X Factor in the middle, because he's spread very thin. You can see Extremist like was playing like the entire map. But what's ended up happening was obviously he's trying to retreat from the front line because he's just going to get ran over by X Factor. He can see that coming. But what ends up happening is he ends up running into my units coming in from the flank. So the Sherman 3 gets on target and boom goes a mortar half-track. Lovely stuff. Now over on this left side in the meantime, M4A376mm is going to have a free go at the Panzer IVs as a P38 Lightning comes in and forces them to fall back. So that's quite a nice shot there for the M4A3s. He managed to bail out one of the Panzer IVs. Do have a couple of rifle squads coming in on this left side just to act as a bit of substance, I guess. Give them something to fire at whilst the clock ticks up. Got 78% score now, managed to get a half-track with a Dragoni squad all the way to their spawn here. The reason I took a Dragoni squad up there was because of it having the Piat. And, well, down here, I brought up a couple of reinforcements. Didn't realise the Pak 38 was alive here. I was probably concentrating over on this left side. So that's going to go down for free. Dragoni do actually jump out this time around. Half-track's going to fall back, but there we go. Lose one squad for free. I always somehow manage to do it, don't I? It's just crazy. Anyway, mortars are having a go at the Königsdagger, which is quite funny. They can do a little bit of morale damage if they get nearby shots, actually, because the side and rear armor of the Königsdagger is only 9. So if you hit near the side or you hit near the rear of the armor, you're actually going to do a decent job. Here the rifles doing their job as well. Just being pin cushions for the enemy. And the Panzer IV, I'm kind of baiting this engagement. I wanted to try and get the kill onto the Panzer IV there and pick up that. But I'm kind of baiting this Panzer IV as well. I know he wants to go for this attack. Panzer IVH is very capable of taking out a Stuart, and I don't have enough AP to penetrate him. But I have the 6-pounder here, and you can see I've just taken it off return fire. So as soon as he comes round the corner with the Panzer IV, the 6-pounder's already aiming, and boom, there goes the Panzer IV. Alright, so still making ground elsewhere. There's M5 half-track sitting on the spawn at the back. But, well, since we've been making so many points throughout the game, after 19 minutes and 22 seconds, we win by score victory. Total victory there. And it was a jolly good game from myself. Also here, Robert did very nice on the right side. 1,865 kills to 305 losses. That's a very nice KD. I went 2-1. X Factor did okay. Last Light just absolutely just... I don't know. He just threw so much stuff at the enemy. Like, so many sacrificial units. But he made his ground, so it worked. Extremist tried to cover off for his teammates, but didn't quite work out. And let's just jump into our kill list. Hello, Cromwells. Cromwell 6 there got so many kills. That killed 4 Pak 38s, and that's just what they're specialised for. I killed 2 of the Pak 38s from the Panzer Lehr, 2 of the Pak 38s from the 17th SS Panzer Grenadiers, with that 1 tank alone. This one took out another Pak 38. You can just see, like, I knew how much AT I had just wrecked. So I just continued to push as much as I needed to win the game. And that's why it ended so quickly. So, yeah, really, really nice. That's how the first Pancerna should work out. You find those AT guns with your recon, you kill them, and you take full advantage of it as soon as possible. Really, really nice. So there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed playing this game. Hopefully it came across in the replay as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.